Coming up on this episode of NPS Now, students at the Academy for Discovery at Lakewood showed off their culinary skills while using math. And Granby High School reopened their student-run credit union. Later in the show, we'll discover how virtual learning is changing the way students learn in Norfolk Public Schools. All that and more next on NPS Now. Hello and welcome to NPS Now, your source for news and information about Norfolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Karen Tanner. Cooking and math were combined as part of a unique activity for some creative fifth graders. Here's the story.
Fifth grade students at the Academy for Discovery at Lakewood learned some valuable math lessons during the 4th annual Young Chefs competition. Throughout the event, students were responsible for properly measuring ingredients and carefully preparing their dishes with help from parents and volunteers. This year, the event partnered with Feast Virginia, a 12-week health and wellness program that focuses on healthy eating on a budget. Students were additionally charged with coming up with recipes that cost $1.25 or less per serving.
I am so excited, I can hardly stand it. It's amazing, and this is exactly where we need to be. In the 5th grade, kids need to know, they need to start finding out what the real world is all about, and being able to make foods on affordable budgets is immensely helpful.
How can we make real life come alive, in the classroom? So by having this challenge, they had to do the math, they had to break down ingredient costs, they had to use a lot of division, of course, and serving sizes to figure out how to get that ingredient cost down so they could get to that $1.25 per serving. So making math real life.
He is learning mathematics, he is learning how to count cups, quarts, teaspoons, tablespoons, divided into serving sizes, and he's learning with math, money, because it has to be $1.25 per serving. So he's learning so much from this one experience.
After all the appetizers, entrees, sides, and desserts were completed, judges tasted the dishes and voted to determine the winners. Regardless of the outcome, these 5th graders enjoyed learning firsthand how math is used in everyday life.
So we know through that authentic learning piece, through project-based learning, that this is something that they're always going to remember. And even our 8th graders now who went through this 4 years ago, they're jealous. They want to say, how can we do a Young Chefs competition in 8th grade? But they remember this, so this is something they'll carry with them through life. And that really meaningful piece of how math really comes into your life and how important it is.
Oh yeah, I think it's fantastic, because a lot of times students think that, oh, why am I learning this? But this is a way for them to realize that the things you are learning in school are applicable in the real world.
Students at Granby High School and representatives from Chartway Federal Credit Union celebrated the grand reopening of their student-run credit union. Through this partnership, students gained real-life work experience while learning about managing money and financial responsibility.
What we're doing here is really celebrating the opportunity for students to learn. Being on the job, they have an opportunity to learn teller work. They have an opportunity to learn marketing work, be business managers, so to speak. And they're also here to talk about financial education, which is super important.
Kids, they can come in and they can do transactions with Chartway Credit Union. They can deposit money for their bank account. It teaches them financial responsibility.
I'm very excited to be a part of Chartway, seeing as though I have been a student teller for 2 years now, and I like where the program is going. The most important thing that I learned is how to manage money and how to keep yourself on a budget.
3rd, 4th, and 5th graders from Larrymore and Terrellton Elementary Schools enjoyed a family coding night at Terrellton just prior to the winter break. The event featured a coding exercise that enables students and parents to use the Scratch program to create their very own video game, and there was also an opportunity to program robots. If you have any great story ideas or events happening at your school, please be sure to contact us at npsnews@npsk12.com. Stay tuned for more NPS Now.
welcome back to NPS Now. I'm Steve Sutmiller, Senior Coordinator of Athletics. Today in the studio, we have two guests from Granby High School. We have the Athletic Director, Travis McClenny. Welcome.
Thank you.
And he has brought a star field hockey player, Carissa Crawford. Welcome. Travis, we have you down here to talk a little bit about, obviously, field hockey, but also what field hockey is doing as a and your athletic program in terms of community service. So talk a little bit about what type of initiatives Granby High School is taking on with community service.
Yeah, so our field hockey team is doing some great things this year. On different Wednesdays throughout the season, they're going to be going out in the community, just trying to expand our reach. And one of the things that they're doing is stopping by the Lafayette Library, and I'll let Carissa expand on that a little more as she begins to talk. But they go to the library. They not only read to the children, but they help out with the staff with other things that are needed. Overall in athletics, outside of just field hockey, the athletics department is planning to do a community cleanup day coming up where we're going to get the student athletes to take some pride and kind of take back a little bit of the ownership of our school and the school grounds and the community that surrounds Granby.
Okay, so exactly, tell us why Granby High School got, and you just mentioned a little bit, but expand upon that, why you got involved with these community services.
Okay, we're getting involved with community service for multiple reasons. One, we want to show our student athletes that we can be the example, we can be the change that we want to see in the community. Some of them, many, just like Carissa, have very good ideas about things that we could do to update the school grounds, whether it be painting, whether it be just picking up trash. But we also want to show them leadership skills through service, because that's our main goal. Yes, we're here for school. We're definitely here to play some sports, but we also want to have an impact on the community.
Sure.
We want them to come out to our games and support us, so we want to do things to contribute and help them as well.
Okay, Carissa, so as a student athlete, getting involved in community services, what was that like for you and then also the team?
Well, for me personally, I've been involved in so many community programs for my entire life, but to really come together as an athletics team, I think there's a special element there because we already have this camaraderie on the field, but then to really take that and further our bond and help others is something special. It's nothing I've ever done before. I've never been involved in any athletics program, any school function where we took what we do specifically, where we play field hockey, but then we also, on the side, do community involvement projects. So okay. I'm really excited.
So what was your initial reaction besides excitement?
I think I was surprised when my coach, she's very involved and she has so many different resources, and she sort of reached out to us and was like, hey, instead of a regular Wednesday practice, we're going to head over to the Lafayette Library, and as a team, we're going to help around with whatever they need. And for me as a child, I spent so much time there. So it was sort of, a blast to the past, and we walked through those doors and it's, the sounds, the smells, it's everything that I remember growing up, and it's so sweet to look at these kids and to give back to them.
All right, so you got that program started.
Right.
Are there any other initiatives for the remainder of the season that you guys are going to participate in?
Well, one of my best friends, she founded the Granby Community Volunteer Club, and she's involved a majority of the field hockey team in it, just through our connections and our friendships, and that's sort of something we've taken and pursued, and it's a really fantastic opportunity for us to further those investments in the community.
Okay. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the field hockey team.
Sure.
And where you are this year and how things are going. So how is the Granby field hockey team?
Well, I don't want to sound biased, but I think we're doing pretty good, all things considered. We've played 6 games. We've won 4 of them.
Very good.
I just love our team spirit. The whole atmosphere is fantastic. We're all really supportive of one another. We're bettering ourselves every day, and I couldn't ask for much more.
Okay, so talk about the influence that Coach Miller has had on the team.
Sure. Our coach, I love her to death. There are a few adults in my life where I just really trust and respect wholeheartedly, and she's one of them. She leads by example. This initiative is just one example of how she always wants to better us, not only as athletes, but as people in general. She's the type of person who's always there for you, and that's something that I think every teenager needs.
Okay, very good. So Travis, let's talk about, again, the Granby program. How is this going to translate to success on the field, not just with field hockey, but will all teams be part of this moving forward?
Yes, definitely. All teams at Granby are part of this movement here for community service, and I believe that it's going to correlate with our results and actions on the field as well, in the sense of when you take your time outside of practice and come together, that's one showing that we want to be together. At our community service event, like on our Saturday coming up for the cleanup day, we're going to have breakfast type brunch together. So we have a time to eat together as well. We're not just going to work, but we're going to eat together. I feel that when you have food involved, people come together. And so we're going to eat, we're going to clean, we're going to have some fun. And then we're going to show teamwork. We're going to show that the field hockey team is not just working on this hallway by themselves. The field hockey team is working with the volleyball team and the basketball team. So we have athletes that might not necessarily practice together every day, but they're coming together to work on a specific project. So now Carissa may say, hey, I actually want to go support the basketball team at one of their games. And now the football team is saying, hey, we want to go support Carissa because we had so much fun working together and we know her. So now we're not just walking past each other, but we're known athletes at the school.
Right.
So we're just building that family environment.
So it sounds like a lot of change going on at Granby.
Yes,
this
sir.
is your second year, so compare that first year to right now. How's it going?
The transition is actually going well. You know, sometimes things take a little bit of time, and that's where we're at right now. We're just being patient with our students, allowing them to grow and develop their young minds and their young bodies. Okay. We're allowing our coaches to begin to grow and giving them some patience as well. We have a lot of turnover of coaches, which is in a good way, bringing a lot of energy and a lot of positivity to the team. We have a lot of former students that are now coaches, like Coach Miller, that are still holding that Granby pride and tradition down, and bringing some of the new people in a good way. So we're starting to gel. I'm a lot comfortable now that again, being known. You know, I'm not just walking past my coaches anymore as their coaches, but they're actually my friends now, and we can have
Very
conversations and talk.
Okay, so Carissa, let's talk about what he talked a little bit about in terms of all the teams kind of bonding together.
Sure, okay.
So from a student athlete's perspective, you know, the field hockey team going out to support the volleyball team, the football team, how's that translating?
Well, I think as a student athlete, just in general, you relate to one another no matter what your sport is. You know, you're going through similar events, you have game schedules at the same time, you know, you're trying to balance homework, home life, you know, social life, game schedules, practices, and you're all kind of bonded together over that common thread. So whenever we get the opportunity, we often come to support, you know, our teams. We have baseball players in the stands watching us. We go watch their games when the seasons rotate. You know, we're going to basketball games, volleyball games, especially when we have our rival nights, when we play Norfolk teams versus Norfolk teams. You know, we really like to be there for each other. Okay.
So, you know, one last question. You've told us how you're doing so far in field hockey.
Right.
But how far can you guys advance into this year's season?
I'm hopeful. I'm positive. I want to be cautiously optimistic. I don't want to sound cocky and I don't want to sound pessimistic, but I don't know. We'll see what we can do. If we keep playing like we're playing, I think we can go pretty far.
Okay. Well, again, you know, we wish you great success out there.
Thank you.
Travis, you're doing a good job. Continue that. And go Granby Comets.
Go Comets.
All right.
Go Comets.
More NPS Now after this.
Welcome back to NPS Now. We have two very special guests with us here today. We have Diane Blow, she's a virtual technology resource teacher, and Valerie Ford, she's the senior coordinator of media services, and we're here to talk about virtual learning. Welcome, ladies, to NPS Now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to ask you both this question. I've known you over the years. You've been here 37, you've been here 27, I'm here 22 almost. Wow. Tell me a little bit about your backgrounds and what you know about virtual learning here at NPS.
Well, I've been dealing with virtual learning for the last 4 years in their customization for Grad Point and Desire to Learn, which is where I got to work with Valerie here, who taught me everything that I know, and then I learned more online.
What do you know, Valerie, about virtual learning?
Well, I have worked with virtual learning for about 4 years as well in media services, and we work with getting students the courses that they need for graduation, content requirements, and instructional flexibility.
Yeah, Diane, what does virtual learning mean, and then how is it incorporated in our classrooms in the curriculum?
Well, it's a web-based program that the students can actually go on with any device, which is really cool.
Oh, good.
And they can download content if they so desire, and use their notes. And the students can work at their own pace. When you go into a classroom situation, you may see students working at a computer, iPad, laptop, doesn't matter, but they're doing it at their own pace, on their own focus, and working on their individual goals.
What schools do we have using virtual learning?
Oh my goodness, all of our high schools are using it.
Oh wow.
Yes, and our secondary auxiliary sites, as well as a few of our middle schools.
So what are some reasons students need it?
Well, sometimes there's scheduling conflicts, and this way, let's say I'm a student transferring in from another school, and I took a course that's not available in Norfolk Public Schools. Well, guess what? I can take it now.
Oh, that's great.
Online.
That's great.
And there's also the opportunity when there's a student who could use or is ready for a higher level class. So maybe I'm taking in the middle school certain class, but I can benefit from a high school class. We can offer that course.
Yeah, well Valerie, how does virtual learning benefit our students and also our school district?
Well, it offers a variety of options, including credit recovery and initial credit courses. Students that may need a course that they did not do so well in initially, they can take the credit recovery course online and meet online graduation requirements. Also, initial credit courses may be offered for students who need them. Students may have transferred in from another school division or scheduling conflicts. Just so many options are available through online learning.
Yeah. Go ahead,
I'm sorry, just also input with our world languages. If we don't have the teacher right now for a certain amount of students who need that course, we can offer it virtually.
That's great.
Yes.
You know what? So let's take a quick look at the impact that virtual learning is having in our classrooms right now.
We had a group of students that took honors civics in 7th grade. They were scheduled to take world geography. Because our numbers has changed and we don't have multiple teachers on grade levels, we had to create a honors world geography class for the 8th grade. The full curriculum for the world geography is uploaded, and Science 8 is uploaded in GradPoint. So they have the modules that they go through. They could practice with whatever concepts they're learning.
I actually preferably like it better on the computer because we can work at our own pace. We can go back if we need help, and we can might be too slow in class. We can go faster at our own pace. So it's like we have to be able to work independently. So it was like a really big change from working with a bigger class and a teacher than working by ourselves on a computer.
It is amazing. It's amazing because it's self-paced and it helps us learn things that we may not get in a traditional classroom setting. It makes me feel good, so I have an opportunity that some may not get.
I wish we had the opportunity to look at other courses being uploaded into GradPoint and used at middle school at some point. We might need to.
It may help us, or help me do better in like high school and stuff. So I knew I took this in 8th grade. I took it seriously, so it'll help me more in life to like do things I want to achieve and like be good and be successful.
It's high school credits, and I really want to graduate early, and I don't want to retake a class that I've already took. So it's a better opportunity for us to finish a class early.
Well, the 21st century learner is not a student who is going to sit in a classroom for 90 minutes. And what we found is for some of those students, their success is virtual. They do not want to be in a classroom, but you can find a computer, a tablet, a laptop, and in some cases their phones where they will sit down and they will get it done.
I wouldn't be in school because I feel like I probably would have still been a dropout because without GradPoint help, I wouldn't have the credits that I have now to be classified as a 12th grader. I can take my time, read it. If I misunderstand it, I can reread it. I don't really have to ask any questions because everything is right there.
I think we had more than 400 students the first year. Last school year, 300 plus. This year, more than 300 students. And of those numbers, you find that 80% or more really take it seriously and get it done.
If you feel like that you're not going to be able to sit in the classroom or you scared to ask teachers questions, I feel like GradPoint is the way to go. I started as a dropout, I started my 11th grade year with 5 credits. So grad point did a lot to get me on track. So right now I'm classified as a 12th grader and I will be graduating this year.
Valerie, how do students respond academically to virtual learning?
Our students respond very well to virtual learning. Our students are digital learners. They use their phones, various devices, and so this gives them an opportunity as digital learners to have personalized learning, lifelong learning, independent learning options, and it prepares them for futures that require these skills.
Yeah, Diane, can this technology be used at home?
Oh, of course, and it is being used at home. The students can work on their modules as often as they want until they get to a quiz or to a test, because then they need a teacher input to put that password in.
Oh, so what are the limits? How does that work?
And that's the only limit.
Oh, that the teacher has to put a password in. Oh, okay. So Diane, approximately how many students use virtual learning in our schools?
Right now we have hundreds of students that are taking advantage of this program. Yes.
Is there room for growth?
Of course, always.
Where do you see the growth going to?
I'm seeing more students getting involved with this program, both on the middle school level and the high school level.
So for both of you, why do you feel it's important for us to have virtual learning to grow in our school district? Why do you feel it's important that it's there, why we're doing it? Valerie?
Well, as we know that our world is a digital world. Students, college courses are being offered online. You can get your college degree online. Oftentimes in the work environment, we have telecommuters, we have students, and not only workers in the workforce, but lifelong learning, everything. We have digital resources. We have an online environment that we're living in. And so to prepare our students for the future, they must be able to take online courses and be proficient, and they already have those skills. They have the desire. It engages our students. It boosts instruction. It enhances what our teachers are able to do in the classroom. So it's an exciting explosion of online learning in Norfolk Public Schools. We're really excited about it.
Yeah.
And it also gives that child the opportunity to have self-discipline, time management, and focus. Those are big 3 that we need them to learn. And if you can take that online course, it's going to prepare you for college or for career-based classes in the future.
So could virtual learning be used in summer school?
It is being used in summer school. It has been, and it is successful.
How is that helpful to the students and the teachers?
Let's say another situation where the student can't take a class during the school year. And maybe we don't have enough teachers to facilitate what that child needs. Well, we can get a teacher facilitator, put various students in one class taking biology, algebra, English, whatever, whole group of kids, one teacher facilitator, and everybody is working at their own pace on their goals on what they need to be working on.
Yeah, that sounds great. So what if a parent or a teacher believe that they have a student that would benefit from virtual learning? What should they do?
First line of progress is to contact your school guidance counselor or your graduation coach. That is where the process starts.
Wow, this has been very informative. Very informative. Great opportunities. Are we the only ones doing this around the Hampton Roads area, or?
Oh, no.
All of our school divisions in the Hampton Roads area are using virtual learning. It really has expanded, and we are excited about these options for our students in Norfolk Public Schools.
Yeah, it is great options and opportunities. Thank you both for coming on the show today to talk about virtual technology in our schools.
Thank you. We're excited about it.
Yes.
Thank you so very much.
It's going to be awesome.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. And we want to thank you for watching NPS Now. It airs weekly on WNPS, Channel 47, or you can view us online at www.npsk12.com. If you have any great story ideas or events happening at your school, please be sure to contact us at npsnews@npsk12.com. Again, we want to thank you for watching NPS Now.